Welcome back once again, all of my low carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Last week I showed you how to make keto Big Mac sauce, and I promised you in that video that I would put out another video showing you how to make the Keto Sesame Buns and the baked burgers that I used in that recipe to make the Big Mac. And so today, of course, we have the Keto Sesame Seed Bun recipe and how to bake your burgers. These are super easy, super delicious, and most importantly, super quick. So if you want printable versions of these, you can check out my website at janetsdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find printable versions of these and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots of easy, delicious keto recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I put out videos every Wednesday and Saturday. And if you'd like to help support the channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. You'll see some affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything using those affiliate links, a small portion of your purchase will go to me and help support the channel. So, while you do all that, let's get cooking. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees. Lightly spray 3 to 5 silicone bun molds, depending on how thick you like your hamburger buns. I like mine a little bit on the thin side, so I usually spray 5 bun molds. If you don't have the silicone bun molds, I'll put a link in the description as to where you can purchase them. I'll also put a link in the description to the article on my website that shows you how to make foil hamburger bun rings. Set that aside for just a minute. In a large mixing bowl, combine 114 grams or about 1 cup of coconut flour, 14 grams or about 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 3 grams or a half teaspoon of salt, 2.5 grams or 1 teaspoon of xanthan gum. Sift or whisk these all together until they're fully combined and there are no lumps in the dry ingredients. Add 4 large room temperature eggs. Make sure they are room temperature so they stir in more smooth. Stir the eggs into the dry ingredients until everything is fully combined and all the dry ingredients have been moistened with the eggs. Add 180 milliliters or roughly around 3/4 of a cup of the oil of your choice. I'm using olive oil. You can use whatever oil you want. Stir the oil in until everything is fully combined and smooth. A little tip on the types of oils that you use. Olive oil is a very flavorful oil, so it does have a little bit of a taste, which I personally really like in these buns. However, if you don't want that slight olive oil taste, then just use a neutral flavor oil such as coconut oil or grapeseed oil, and you won't have any type of a slight oil taste. Or you can also use melted butter, just some kind of fat to hold everything together. Add anywhere from 2 to 4 tablespoons of warm water. How much water you need to add depends on the density of your coconut flour. I'm using Anthony's organic coconut flour, so 2 tablespoons of warm water was just fine for me. If you have a more dense coconut flour, then you might need to use a little bit more warm water. You do want this to be warm water. It helps keep your dough soft, which helps to have a more soft, fluffy hamburger bun. Stir everything all together for at least a good 20-30 seconds so that everything can fully combine and you have a nice, smooth, moist dough that has formed. Roll the dough into a smooth ball. Massage the dough ball for about 20 seconds or so. This is just to make sure of your texture. You want to make sure you have a lightly moist dough. It should not be sticking to your fingers and it should not be crumbly. If it's crumbly, then you need to add just a little bit more warm water. If it's sticking to your fingers, then just add a tiny bit more coconut flour. Divide the dough evenly between your prepared bun molds. I'm using 5 bun molds here, so it's roughly a little over 1/3 of a cup of the dough in each one of the molds. As I said before, if you do spread the dough between 5 molds, it does make a more thin hamburger bun, which I prefer. But if you are wanting a more thick hamburger bun, then just divide it between about 3 of the molds rather than 5. Once you've divided the dough amongst the molds, roll each dough portion into a smooth ball. Then press the ball evenly throughout the mold. Make sure you press the dough out evenly so you have a nice even cook and you don't have a lopsided bun. Also, make sure that each dough portion is very smooth. If you see any cracks or anything, just dampen your fingers very lightly and rub the crack in the dough out so you have a nice smooth dough for your bun. If you do have cracks in it, then it can make for a more crumbly bun. So do try to make it as smooth as you can. Once the dough is evenly divided and evenly pressed between the bun molds, then lightly brush the tops of each one of the buns with a little bit of egg wash. All egg wash is 1 tablespoon of water and 1 egg. Use a fork, stir it all together until it's fully combined. Then use a silicone brush and very lightly brush it across the tops of each one of the buns. This will give your buns that nice toasty brown color that we like in our hamburger buns. It also helps the sesame seeds stay on better. Once you've brushed all the buns with the egg wash, take your desired amount of sesame seeds and lightly sprinkle it over the top of each one of the buns. I only like a little bit of a scatter of sesame seeds on the top of my buns, so I only use about a 1/4 teaspoon for each bun. So it's up to you how much sesame seeds you think you're going to want on the top of each one of your buns. Try to distribute them as evenly as you can. Place the buns in your preheated oven and bake at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes or until the buns are lightly golden and a tester comes out clean. Once the buns are nice and golden, remove them from the oven. Allow them to cool inside of the molds for about 15 minutes. Then carefully remove them from the molds and place them on a wire rack so they can cool completely before slicing them. Make sure you let them cool completely before you slice them. If you do have any leftovers, store them in an airtight container at room temperature for up to 3 days, or you can store them in the freezer for up to 3 months. For the baked burgers, in a medium mixing bowl, crumble up anywhere from a 1/2 pound to 1.5 pounds of ground beef, depending on how many burgers you're wanting to make. Then season the beef according to how you want it to taste. I usually just use a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder, some salt and pepper, about a teaspoon or so of hot sauce, and a couple teaspoons or so of Worcestershire sauce. Divide the beef into your desired portions. I usually make mine into 1/4 pound burgers. Shape the beef into your desired patties. Then place your burgers onto an oven fryer rack. If you don't have an oven fryer rack, all you need to do is put a cooling rack inside of a cookie sheet and it'll work just fine. Then preheat your oven to 425 degrees and place the shaped patties into your preheated oven. Bake at 425 degrees for anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how pink you like your burgers, or until the internal temperature is anywhere between 155 and 165 degrees. Remove them from the oven. If you want cheese on them, you need to immediately put a slice of cheese on it so it could start melting into the patty. Once the burgers are all baked, you can put them on your buns, top them with your favorite burger toppings, and eat and enjoy. And that's the recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button, leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.